Hello, beings. Whew. So, there's going to be a little energy update with a little bit of sound in it as well. I'll pull some cards. Yeah, I feel like the energy we're in right now is very intense. It is a huge death phase, a huge detox, purging on a really deep level, and I think absolutely everyone is feeling this, but especially the highly sensitives. This energy can also feel like, the line to spirit isn't as clear as it usually would be. And that can kind of have you doubting yourself, maybe going around in circles with decisions or future planning. And when we're in that, it can be difficult, but to me it does feel like retrograde energy because of Pluto retrograde. Mercury will also go retrograde next week, but the whole purpose of retrogrades are to help us recalibrate our energy. It's almost like the universe takes away that magnetic connection that we have with it temporarily, so that we can deepen the trust that we have with our own spirit instead of outsourcing who we're taking advice from. I kind of actually feel like there's a huge universal lesson right now in discernment and who and what you give your attention to. And I do feel like this is being amplified by, the amount of AI that we're all being bombarded with now on social media, on the internet, with work apps like Zoom or Google Meets or whatever it is. Like, it is literally implemented into everything now. And so, like, our bodies are getting used to that. It's a whole new system that is like big, and it is taking over the way that the internet used to work, or what we're used to. And we're all addicted to our phones and the internet and social media, so therefore we are taking in that energy, that new energy, and there's a lot of distortion there. So this week can kind of feel a bit like you're walking on eggshells, like wherever you go, even when you're by yourself. There is a very strong intensity moving through the collective right now. It's making people, it's easier for people to get annoyed, irritated, aggravated, and then to project that anger onto others. So if you're someone that projects anger quite a lot, or if you're quite an angry person, then that's going to really come up for you during this time, because it's showing you that that's a coping mechanism of yours that isn't working. It's not working for you, it's not working for other people, it's not helpful. And a lot of the time that projection of anger comes from control. These two things are often very, very tied. When we can't control the outcome, when we're trying to control life or someone else's life, or we think we know what's best for them, or things just aren't working the way that we want them to work, we get angry. And so new coping mechanisms need to come in, but before they can come in, we need to realize that what we're doing, or what we have been doing, the ways in which we have been coping, they aren't working anymore. So I want you to really take time to think about that. If you are someone that just likes to stay as busy as possible, because maybe you struggle to just sit with yourself or to rest, then that is really your homework and your mission and your medicine right now, is learning how to sit with yourself, learning how to rest, learning how to not project or not control. And so the opposite of projecting and controlling and anger is coming into stillness and becoming the observer. And you might even feel like you're already doing that, but you're like, God, it's really hard. And yeah, it is really hard, and we're kind of being pushed to breaking point just now. And I do feel like this energy is a preparation for kind of like a rebellion, a revolution within our spirits, within our hearts, within our own consciousness, which will then, you know, grow into a larger, like, physical rebellion, revolution of all of these, you know, world policies that are being pushed on us that we've not consented to. So anything around consent right now is also going to be really big. Like, things that you have not given your consent to, you're going to become more aware of that. That might be people sending you big voice notes that you were like, oh, I'm not actually ready to listen to this. If it's something that's, you know, very deep. And maybe your friend's just having a hard time or something, and they're just like, they're wanting to do their usual thing of like, hey, like, this is what I'm going through. So there's a need to, like, get clear with your boundaries and what you're able to hold right now, because for many of us, it's actually a time to pour our energy inwards and focus more on what we can do for ourselves as individuals instead of outsourcing our energy and trying to get support or advice from other people. Like, I really feel like we're in a time where we're not really supposed to know exactly what's happening. We're supposed to just pay attention and feel into what we are experiencing now, and not like what's going to happen next month, 3 months, 6 months down the line. Like, what's my life going to look like? Yeah, so getting clear with your boundaries. What are you able to hold? What's your capacity? And just gently communicating that to the people in your life, to the people that you're close with. You know, and just saying like, look, this is what I'm going through right now, and or not say, you don't even have to say what you're going through. You can just say like, you know, I'm in this energy where I'm really needing to focus on myself, or I'm not going to be as available, and it doesn't mean that I don't love you or care about you or our friendship or our relationship, but just, you know, give me a heads up when you want to talk about something or go into something, that kind of thing. Because yeah, this week is gonna, it feels like that a lot. There's a really strong energy of Pluto moving through the collective right now, and I've spoken about this before. Like, Pluto is death before the rebirth. Like, everyone loves to just skip to the good part, you know, the rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and they forget about the death, like the gunky, hard, harsh energy of dying. And there's many aspects of our lives that are dying right now, of ourselves that are dying right now, and I honestly feel like this is one of the biggest deaths that we're going to experience this year, for sure, probably the biggest. People being removed from your life because you're no longer in alignment. People, and it's not even like anything's really happened, you're just registering that like, oh, energetically this connection doesn't feel good for me anymore, or it's not serving me, or we're on different frequencies. Pay attention to that, listen to that, honor that. Don't let your ego try and keep you in connections because of, I don't know, it feels good when this happens, or it only feels good 20% of the time, or I can control it in a way to make it feel good. Like, you shouldn't have to. Real, authentic, genuine connections don't require that. So yeah, and if you're someone that finds it hard to love themselves and to actually pour love into themselves, if you're always giving, that is going to become very apparent, because you're going to get really tired. You're going to notice your fatigue. You're going to notice that the things that you would usually do to help yourself feel better aren't working. And also, like, a huge awareness and awakening around the ways in which we can all be energy vampires is coming up just now as well. And I feel for this in that way of, like I was saying, when if you are just in a connection with someone because that person makes you feel good, because you can't get that energy from yourself, because you don't know how to love yourself in the way that that person loves you, then you need to take a break from that connection, because that you're never going to be able to love yourself unless you learn how to love yourself, and you're always going to look for that in other people, and then it's not fair on the other person. these are where these kind of like toxic bonds and attachments can be formed. And so we are getting a huge mass awareness on our shadows right now. And all of these little things I've mentioned are parts of our shadows. And so, yeah, really honoring that this isn't a time to be frantically searching, organizing, asking for support, like getting, if you're someone that likes to get readings from other people when you're unsure of things, which is fine to an extent. Like, I really feel like this is a period of time where we're all supposed to just learn how to listen to what our bodies, our own spirits, our own minds are telling us. Because otherwise we're gonna keep giving all our energy to other people, and it doesn't serve anyone. And also this plays into the whole AI thing, because then it's like, how much are we gonna just give away our souls to this like convenience, to what's more convenient? It's more convenient to ask someone else, hey, can you look at this thing for me? I'm not sure what's going on. I can't see it. It's not coming up. And it's like, if you can't see it, then you either need to go deeper or you need to be patient with yourself. You don't just need to like ask your friend to like, can you help me with this straight away? They probably have their own shit going on. So this is something I am learning and noticing within myself. Like, I am totally calling myself out here as well. But I think it's something that's really, really important. And, spending time in like places where there's a lot of people, concert cities, you're not going to feel so drawn to that at this time. It's a time where we want to be spending more time in nature, more time within our homes, more time with ourselves, really cocooning ourselves so that we can allow this death to happen as smoothly as possible. Because when you're dying, you need to be more still, you can't be like moving at like a rate of knots all the time. There's also a lot of ways in which purging affects our health. And so that might be your digestive system. It might be that you're having issues when you're going to the toilet. There could even be like blood when you're going to the toilet. Obviously, if this is something that's never happened to you before, then do go to the doctors and get checked out. But this is something that I experience on and off throughout my life, really. Sometimes I get blood in my stools, and it's just a purge for me. It's a way in which my body is purging energy, and then it goes away. Yes, there are things you can do, with your diet. Cut out caffeine, cut out sugar. If you're vegetarian, then making sure that you're getting protein somewhere, or just having like a cleaner diet in general. There are always things we can do, but what I keep feeling is this, like, you have to do the inconvenient thing right now. We'll have to do the harder work right now, otherwise we're just going to keep going in our loops and our loops and our loops. So purging, digestive system is one way. Lungs, coughing is another way. If you're a smoker, you're probably going to be like having issues with your lungs just now, or you're breathing, or realizing that you should probably quit smoking. This is also something I am going through. And then the other one is skin. Our skin is our largest organ, so the skin is a huge way in which we purge. For me, I've had this since I was a child. So my hands, as you can see, I have, it's diagnosed dermatitis, eczema, where my hands get very, very sore, and I purge through my hands. So like itching, sores, they can get pussy. It's really, really painful. And I don't like to take steroid creams for it. I have when it's really bad, but then they just don't really tend to help. So that's another way in which I am currently purging. And so when the body is going through so much, we have to create more time for rest. We really, really have to do that. It's so important. And to learn new ways to support ourselves. So, maybe that's like, there's been something that you've been called to do, a meditation class, or to go and do a meditation training, or to spend time and do Vipassana, or stay at a monastery, or take a vow of silence for 10 days. Like, this is a great time to do any of these kinds of practices. Maybe you want to learn Reiki, you want to start, or maybe you already are attuned in Reiki and you've kind of lost your practice, so you want to start a new 21 days of self-healing. It's a great way to reconnect with Reiki and to give back to yourself. I just gave myself a little Reiki energy healing session, and I'm realizing I need to do way, way more of that for myself. like June for me, I booked this whole month off work because I was like, I know that I don't have the capacity to be giving to other people or channeling right now. Like my energy is very much about pouring inwards and letting this new path reveal itself, because I have an idea of where it is, but we're in such a deep death process right now that you actually cannot know for sure where you're headed. And I think that's something that's really important. I also feel like by the end of this summer, like by the end of August, the energy is going to feel completely different. It is going to be a bit lighter, but we're still going to be in this shedding. Like this is a long shedding process. And if you do want to base it on Pluto retrograde, Pluto will go direct, I think it's like the 16th of October. So it's a long time. It's a long time for this planet to be retrograde. And I mean, it retrogrades often, and it does retrograde for long periods of time because it's a slow moving planet. But for this year, it's just hitting people a lot harder. So yeah. Okay, so what else did I write down here? Yeah, I need to clear the air as well. Like there's a need to be more honest about how you're feeling, especially about people you live with, your partner, your partners, your friends, your housemates, your family, whoever you live with. Like just know that everyone's going through their own shit at this time, and so being kind to one another and yeah, clearing the air, clearing your space energetically, like in whatever way you do that, whether you use herbs or sound or by actually cleaning. Like there's so many different ways that we can clear and clean space energetically, and sometimes that does involve a physical cleaning, of course. So these are all other like really good tools to kind of use at this time. And to also be praying, you know, like praying with intention, not praying for asking for more shit or for something new to enter your life, but praying with like genuine, deep felt, heartfelt gratitude for life, for being alive, and for this like hardship, because whatever we're experiencing right now as a collective, we are going to reap the rewards of this at some point. You know, and we have to just kind of like be in it and go through it just now, but knowing and remembering that this too shall pass. There's a lot of collective grief right now. The old ways are dying. And also remembering that we all have different coping mechanisms, remembering that we all have different vessels, and so we all have different capacities to how much we can hold. So you might be going through something that someone else is not able to receive or hear or talk to you about, and vice versa, and that's okay. And it's not your job to try and make that person hear you or to expand their capacity. Like only they can do that, and they have to do it at their own pace and at a pace that feels safe for them. Because when we're in such a deep process of decay and like decomposing and dying and rotting, I forgot what I was going to say. When we're in that, you know, we're much, much more sensitive, so we cannot be doing as much. We don't have the capacity to hold space for everything and everyone. So that's something that I want you to be aware of at this time as well. So this is a long energy update, but I really feel it's necessary. I'm going to play the bowl a little bit now. So wherever you are, wherever you're receiving this, allowing yourself to slow down, to be comfortable, and to just observe your vessel, observe how you feel. Observe and notice what is dying within you. What is wanting to leave? What parts of you are you shedding? So just noticing how you feel after receiving that transmission. First the channeling and then the sound, and how has the sound helped to release or identify or shift energy in your body. You know, the ocean drum is very loud, it's very strong, and I feel that is the kind of sound that we need to help us cleanse all of this density and this gunk out of our systems right now. So welcoming in that sound to help us release. And just being really patient and really gentle with yourself, giving yourself so much grace during this time, because it's a lot. It's a lot to hold, it's a lot to embody, it's a lot to feel as a human. So yeah, be kind to yourself and to others. And I hope that this helped in some way.